I truly do believe that if you have faith, that you will be put on the right path. And I took a massive trajectory change, and I truly feel like things are completely aligning.
When I set a vision in my life and I look at my faith, my family, my business, my health, my wealth, I want other people in these real stories to hear the real stories of that journey.
I have everything that I've wanted, like in terms of family life, beautiful wife, making good money, and like my world's upside down right now in my head.
God is so good. He shows us his hands. Like people think miracles are like, like someone being instantly healed. It's so much more than that. They can be the smallest things where he shows his goodness in your life.
If you think of something and you believe it and you see it in your mind, it's meant for you. Go chase it.
See you in the next episode of Real Stories. Today, I'm sitting down with someone who leads in a way that I deeply respect, Kimberly Saunders. She's a broker, wife, a mother, and the founder of Real Estate in Black and White, a brand built on truth, clarity, and doing what's right, even when it's hard. With over $165 million in sales volume in just 5 years, Kimberly doesn't just sell homes, she empowers people to make confident, strategic decisions. This conversation is going to be powerful. Can you tell me who you are outside of real estate?
Outside of real estate, I am a mom and a wife. I have 2 awesome kids, Bella and Mikey. He's older, but he still goes by Mikey. And I also have 2 stepkids, Cameron and Mackenzie, and I am married to Jamie. So,
okay.
Yeah, outside of there. And then I'm also a fitness fanatic. So if I am not with my family, I'm usually doing something fitness related.
Nice. What does your life look like right now in this season that you're in?
Right now, it is super busy for many reasons. Real estate has been awesome. I've switched over to Keller Williams. I've been with your brokerage. I guess it's been for about 5 months now. I was thinking about a move for a really long time, and I stumbled upon your brokerage in particular just because I really like the training and the education piece. So right now, my world looks like a bit of selling real estate, buying real estate, and also building up a team fully supported by Keller Williams. It's been absolutely awesome.
I can see why you're busy.
Yeah, it's for me, again, the resources that I've been able to tap into has allowed me to go from being what I thought was going to be a single agent endeavor for a little while to something where I have a team of people. So
yeah.
It's been great.
I remember calling you like a couple weeks in going, are you ready to hire someone yet?
Yeah, and that was probably one of the best conversations just because it solidified what I thought you were about and what your brokerage was about, because you were able to explain to me why Christine was going to be an amazing hire and why she would fit in with my vision. I think you had a really clear vision of what I was trying to accomplish, and just her personality, and just because of the way you start things off with, doing the personality assessments and things like that. And she truly did align, and she's taking off. Like even yesterday, she was firming up a deal, and she's like, this morning she's out again. So yeah, it's just been absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of people often see me and they see a serious face and they don't necessarily know that I really love a deep conversation and really getting to know who each person is, but not just that, what their dreams and visions are for 5 years out.
Yep.
And so doing that with both you and Christine and the beautiful divine timing around that was just like, I got to call you and talk to you about that. So I'm glad it's working out so well.
It's spectacular.
What are you most grateful for today?
Personally, I'm very grateful for my health. So I always start off with gratitude for my health and for my family. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. And then into professional side of the world, I'm just very grateful for the opportunities and for being able to, be myself and be able to build exactly what I have envisioned for myself and for my clients as well too. So yeah, I'm very, and it sounds cheesy to a certain degree because it's like, okay, health. If if you don't have your health, you don't have anything else.
Yeah.
And nothing else becomes a priority. So I am very grateful for the investment that I'm able to make into it, but also just how healthy I actually am and the family that I do have. Like I've been through a multitude of things, and I go to bed saying I love you and being grateful for, the people that I do have in my life. But then I'm also very grateful for the opportunities that have been presented in the last little while. Like I truly do believe that if you have faith, that you will be put on the right path. And I took a massive trajectory change, and I truly feel like things are completely aligning.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually scripture about that, about getting put onto the right path. I don't have it all memorized, but it's very true. And since I've met you, there's just been this glow and magnetism. It's like a shining light, and you radiate it. And that's really incredible to hear your version of it, because I can see it. And I love to see you walking that path. And at the same time, you're always cup half full, positivity, grateful for your husband, grateful for all your things in your life. And you just keep attracting because of that. So
I don't know the scripture either, so I will say, but you do have to start with love, and you have to start with gratefulness.
Yeah.
You can be presented with challenges in your life, but it truly is a test on how you are going to react to those things. I won't get into it in this podcast. Maybe it'll be for a future one. But I did have things happen to me in the past, and you just have to look at it. And it's okay to pause and just to go, okay, I'm going to take this moment to breathe. And that doesn't mean that you're succumbing to the pressure, but you do have two options. It's either to fall backwards and become defined by something that's happening to you that's negative, or you just pause and you take it as a lesson and you move forward with the positivity, because we are blessed to be even challenged with something like that. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very true. It was really cute the other day. Kids are awesome. And sometimes I say, like, with all of my kids, there's been really cute moments. Some days are busier than others as a mom, right? Where life is just like, in the morning, I'm packing 4 kids' lunches and hoping they get to school on time. And then my little Bella, you have a Bella too, needs something from me like 20 times in the morning before I leave the door. And then I have Henry, who's 5, and he's so cute. He opened up his bag and he pulled out this little booklet, and he had drawn a rainbow and a sun and a palm tree with all these highlighter lines. And he said, "Mom, I want you to write down what you're happy about every day." Just like, oh my goodness, so sweet. And it's this gentle little nudge reminder, like, Mom, even though it's crazy, be happy.
Yeah. But he obviously picked that up somewhere along the line from you and your husband.
Yeah.
And that is the piece where I think in the busyness, you can't see sometimes the true large impact that you're making on your children. And I had the opportunity to go through some photos of both of my kids. And what was interesting is I found this one video of Bella as well. And I was just like, oh my goodness. But she still radiates that same level of energy, and just their little personalities now, because I know yours are quite younger than mine, but it's amazing how you're just making those impacts that you have. Because obviously he didn't come up with a gratefulness list on his own. That's something that you've ingrained in him as well. So
yeah, and
kudos
it's
to you.
nice to see. And I think as parents, for anyone watching this, it is a reminder of, I'm not always a perfect mom. There's moments where I'm like freaking out, like I make mistakes. However, if you constantly operate in that mode of presence with your children and gratitude for who they are in that moment, even if they're having an absolute meltdown or whatever the moment may be, time goes so quickly. And you looking back at pictures from when your daughter was younger, I'm sure took you there.
Yeah.
And I'm just reminded daily of these precious little moments. And I actually got given a booklet from John, our team leader here, who you met, Daily Blessings. He gave it to me when I first bought this brokerage randomly. I was probably trying to recruit him. Brought me this book.
I love that.
And it was called Daily Moments. And it's like every day you just write your favorite part of the day in it. and it lasts 5 years and haven't filled it up, but maybe that's what Henry saw. And I think that's the thing about being a parent is time flashes past and you've got to really just soak it all in, the good, the bad, the fun, the chaos of it.
It's a wild ride. And I remember when my kids were younger, people would say to me, oh, don't blink. And now like they're 19 and 22. And I'm like, I think I blinked, right? But my only advice too is just take photos and videos, take as many as you can. And it's really cool to watch the development. Like there was one picture of Mikey where it said, I was good until I got bored. And that still applies to this day. So we always joke we just need to get a larger version of it. So it's really cool.
I saw your daughter doing something really awesome about, was it neuroscience, a project? So where'd she get her smarts from?
I think from multitude of people. So they always say it takes a village to raise children. So my children were very blessed because there was a great number of people in their life. So on her dad's side, her grandmother went to Queen's University and she is more language based. And her dad went to Western as well. On my side, they're all university goers. But at the same point, I think with her, she just came out that way. And I don't know how else to say that. So
it's her DNA. She's
it
just
was
smart.
100% her DNA. And she, I love education. Like I haven't stopped. Like I was actually looking at a course recently on media because real estate has changed so much that I'm like, okay, it's not just about selling houses and customer service. It truly is how you can evolve in this current market without so for me it's trying to understand the skills and the knowledge that I need to gain so that I can be competitive in this type of environment and in the future for real estate. So I think the biggest thing with both of my children, I've ingrained you have to constantly learn and evolve. So
I like that. It's very true. And you're obviously coming to the event that we're doing here actually on AI, and it's so important that we're adapting right now and learning.
Yeah. And again, going back to Keller Williams and to you specifically, like that alone, I am so grateful that I'm with a company and with you where you are giving opportunities to agents because it is changing. Like John Lee is... you can do a better job describing who he is. Every single time I get off a call with him, my mind is racing with ideas and I'm like, oh, we need to pivot and we need to be able to learn about, X, Y, and Z so that we can get ahead. But the way you have it set up, it allows agents to accelerate their learning. And again, it's just a fantastic opportunity. So,
well, thanks for that, because sometimes as a organizational leader or you're trying to adapt and learn and then flow what you learn back in. Yeah. And so I appreciate the encouragement because I always I'm like, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Am I offering the right stuff? Yeah. So that's encouraging. Thank you.
But you're a 360 leader. So just a quick observation, you are very open to feedback and you're constantly seeking that feedback and it creates an environment where you have the pulse on everyone. So kudos to you for that.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. Keep on giving me feedback. Some people are scared to give me feedback because I have a serious face.
No, so. I think you and I are like the similar but opposite because you have a very serious face. Everyone thinks that I'm like super friendly, but we're both very analytical and we're both constantly trying to improve. So I'll just keep nudging. Okay.
One other thing I got to learn about you is you're a passionate real estate investor. And I want to dive into this because I think not a lot of people are aware. I think this is a huge, huge opportunity for people right now, especially baby boomer generation, to be looking at generational wealth, pre-inheritance, for helping their kids get into real estate right now. Well, the market's so good to get into real estate. So I want you to just let me know your thoughts on this.
third generation. So again, going back to family and family roots, my grandparents were immigrants, so from Poland, and I'm just going to say Yugoslavia. I know it's disbanded, but that's where she originally came from. Very passionate about investing in real estate and different lands. So they were down in the Oakville area, but then they bought up larger chunks of property, sort of what seemed to be out in the middle of nowhere. So she saw this opportunity and she said, Brampton's going to be big one day. And they literally bought this. It was where Peel Regional Police ended up doing their headquarters and things like that. And eventually Mattamy Homes ended up purchasing the property. So it was like having that forward thinking, but it springboarded the opportunity for all three of her sons to do the same thing. So all three have invested in different types of real estate, my father included, and then it's translated back down again to me. But for example, we have a rental property that's coming up sometime in the near future. We're going to be putting on the market. People will ask, is this a good time to sell? And it depends on your situation, right? So for me right now, it's a good starter home for someone. So there is a market for that, especially up in the Simcoe County area. And it allows me to take the equity out and then reinvest again into something that I think that's going to grow a little bit better over time. So we're looking at possibly cottage or waterfront as well. But we're also able to take some of that out and then transfer it over to, we have at least one child that is going to be needing funds in the near future for a house. So again, looking at the market, looking at the opportunities, and again, so it allows for them to be able to, when they're making their payments, pay down their mortgage that much faster and build up their equity as well. And then it moves forward for the next generation. So it's now is definitely the time to be looking at those things. And even if you don't want to sell your house, most people have equity inside their home. And if you go to a mortgage broker or to your bank, oftentimes it's a lot cheaper for you because of your credit rating and your background for you to pull that money effectively out and then give it to the next generation as well. So
I have a really interesting story about that. Now there's the whole conversation even with reverse mortgages, keeping people in their home rather than going to a nursing home, reverse mortgaging to give ahead of, the estate and getting that going for the kids now. But the funny story, when I was 18, I bought a house in London, Ontario, built another 2 bedrooms in the basement, and I had cash flow, really good cash flow. And when I met my husband, my dad was like, just sell the house. I know he just didn't want to manage it. I should have had a property manager manage the property. I was living in Europe, and that house would now be probably 4 times the value of what I paid for it. But I didn't know as an investor at that age, not having been in real estate really other than buying a home, that I could pull equity out. I thought I had to sell it to get my money. And I think this is where people like you are really great with explaining to clients what their options are.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is find a realtor that will actually give you that advice, because it's not about selling your house sometimes. It's about getting information about the market, what it looks like, what your options are, and getting the education piece first rather than, just saying, okay, I'm going to call them up because I need to sell my house. In my opinion, everyone should have a great real estate agent in their back pocket that they can call up to say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this to my house. Is this going to be a good return on my investment? Oh, I'm thinking about pulling money out from my child. Do you have any resources or any good mortgage brokers that I could speak to, those types of things? So again, it's not necessarily about buying or selling a house. It's helping you to expand and understand generational wealth.
Yeah. And being such a learner, you can educate people on that. Is there a defining moment that you can think of where you realized, I don't want to do real estate like everyone else. I want to do this in a unique way?
So I came from a larger team, and I got a great foundation essentially for my real estate. I'll call it sales experience, but really I've never really thought of myself as a salesperson. So I think it might be just from the beginning where I took the attitude, I didn't come from sales. Like, I came from a background in I'm a teacher by trade, and then I worked at a police union as head of finance and administration. So I never saw myself in what I would say traditionally as a sales position. So even when I approached real estate, I never looked at it from the lens of how can I sell something to you. It was always from the lens of, okay, let's get you the information first, and then you can make your plan moving forward. So I always took that approach. And again, because of and you can call it the fiduciary responsibility or whatever else you want to call it. But for me, I always say I have to put my head on a pillow at the end of the day. And I always wanted what was best for people. And really, once you can find something that you truly love, like I love my job or my career or whatever you want to call this, but I don't even view it as work. Yes, I get paid to do it, but it's almost like a secondary thing that happens. My main objective is just informing people, making sure they can make the right decision. And then if they need me to help buy or sell, I'm here to help them out from that standpoint. So that's always just been sort of my mindset and my attitude about it, and just leaving the sales part to the side, because you do need sales skills, but there's so many other facets to real estate that I think it's easier to put that as like a secondary skill rather than a primary skill.
100%. And it shows in the way that you educate people in what they need to know. What made you commit so much in your branding and the way you wanted your business to operate to the clarity and truth principle that you have? So what was learned or what was forged through the experience of creating that as such a strong pillar for your business?
My mom always used to say, if you can't say it to my face, don't say it at all. And it's been sort of a motto that's been sort of deep inside of me, I think, since I was smaller. I think it's very important to be honest with people. They don't want to hear the fluff or the noise, or they don't want a pat on the back necessarily. When someone's trying to make a financial decision, they need an honest truth. The hardest part about it is because oftentimes it's a house and a home at the same time. So there's a fine balance. You still have to be very respectful that people have put all their hard-earned money into this, and they have family memories inside as well. But you have to find a way of making sure that you are very clear about what the market looks like and what potentially might happen if they sell, or what happens if they might buy. So for me, it's making sure that they understand all of those variables so that they can make an informed decision. Because if they make a hiccup or a mistake at this moment in time by selecting someone that might be leading them down the wrong path or giving them misinformation, it just creates issues for them financially, puts stress on a marriage, it puts stress on a person if they're not married. It, again, could impact the next generation as well. So you can't take that lightly.
100%. So the black and white philosophy, which is the name, what does real estate in black and white truly mean to you? How did you come up with it?
The first tagline I knew wouldn't stick from a marketing standpoint, because I really wanted, and this is where you might have to bleep me out, I really wanted real estate without the bullshit. And again, it's not, when I say it, it truly doesn't even emulate me, but there's a lot of noise in real estate because we are technically in sales, right? So I wanted to remove the sales aspect of it to make it so that it was truly about the numbers. So my background's in economics. I am truly about supply and demand and pricing, and you can't fudge those numbers. I know stats. Everyone always says, "Oh, stats. You can make it say whatever you want." But really and truly, if you put it into black and white and you keep it simple, you tell people, here are the assumptions, here are the variables. All of a sudden, all the noise falls away, and you can get a very clear picture. So for me, black and white in real estate.
Okay, I love it. Why do you think so many people are comfortable operating in the gray zone?
Because it's easy. It is easy. And again, most people have to be making money. And in this market in particular, this is what they said is since the 1990s like this. But again, that could be a whole other podcast on the current market situation.
Yeah.
One of the toughest markets to be in. And I think it's easier for people to operate in that gray zone because it seems like it's easy, right? And again, sometimes it comes down to just not knowing what's best for clients. Sometimes it's just not having the experience again. And sometimes it comes down to they need to make the commission, right? So it's a very difficult balance. But and again, going back to your fiduciary responsibility, if you take it seriously and you look at, okay, what's going to be best for the potential client, it's easy to, the flip side, it's easier to be just black and white about things. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how with that numbers background. Have there been moments where telling the truth cost you something?
It can cost you a client sometimes. Like I would say, like keeping it to real estate, the truth can cost you because oftentimes the truth is hard, right? And that's in the 6 core values. Truth can be hard. Sometimes people are just looking for people to agree with them, and that's okay. Like for me, I look at it and go, it's better to be open and honest about things. And if they were just looking for someone to nod and agree, they weren't looking for, I guess, expert advice, or they think that they know best. And that's the path that they need to be on at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I don't take it personally. I look at it and go, okay, I'm here when you need me. And I've had clients come back again. I don't know, you can't judge people for the path that they choose. You just have to sit back and go, okay, philosophically, you know what, I'm here. I know what I did was right. And when the timing's right, they may or may not come back, but oftentimes they do. So
Yeah, it happens all the time, I'm sure, especially in this market when some people have an opinion of the value of their home that they love and live in.
Yeah.
And if you price it the way that they feel, it might not get them the results that they need.
Yeah, and there's always been advice about, okay, if you put certain renovations into your house, you always get your money back. And in this market in particular, we're not actually seeing necessarily that correlation. Or if they pick something that is super trendy, and it was trendy, say 10 years ago, if you sold maybe 8 years ago, you probably would have gotten that back again. But right now, things that were trendy 10 years ago isn't necessarily getting you your return on your money. So
For sure.
Yeah.
What does it take to lead with the truth when it's uncomfortable?
So it might be uncomfortable in the moment. Sometimes you have to phrase things and give truth bombs, or you have to turn around and say something that you think might hurt someone or someone's feelings. But ultimately, if it's done well, in my opinion, people will realize the value of what you have given to them, essentially. So I had a recent thing happen, and I had to be brutally honest with someone that had somewhat to do with real estate, but not really. And to me, I was able to walk away and have a hard conversation at that moment in time, but we have been able to establish a relationship still moving forward. So again, it's sometimes it's just personalities, sometimes it's just not the right moment in time, and sometimes people just aren't truly aligned, right? So again, it's just making sure that you're being open and honest, and saying those things as well. So some people will view being truthful as being hurtful as well. But again, it's in your word choice and how you deal with it. And again, that ongoing communication.
So I want to dive into the success you've had over the past 5 years alone, over 165 million in volume sold. That's pretty incredible. It's a lot of people that you've helped. And I want to hear from your perspective, what separates you? What creates that success from your lens?
From my lens, it's looking at everyone as an individual. So understanding their needs, their wants, where they see themselves at this moment in time, where they see themselves 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now. you have to dive into everyone individually in order to understand how they tick, what they truly want. Because sometimes people will say, oh, I need this, and this. And it's not necessarily translated into the same when you start looking at real estate or when you're selling real estate as well. So it's understanding people, the old adage, 2 ears and one mouth. So making sure that you truly dive into understanding the individuals. And then part of the success, I would say, is just relationship building. So it is not about the transaction. I always said to my clients from the get-go, I want to be able to knock on your door a few years from now and sit down and have coffee with you. So again, having that as my litmus test to make sure that I was doing exactly what I needed to do for them, I think helped. And some clients need more hand-holding than other clients. So again, it's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do you make decisions under pressure?
You have to anticipate the pressure coming. So no one has a crystal ball, but in a profession, oftentimes you can anticipate where the pressure points are going to come. So whether it's getting to know people over time or if you're mid negotiations on something, it's just sort of understanding what your potential variables could be, and how you would react to those things. So trying to keep the emotions at bay. So again, real estate can seem like it can be emotional at times, but it shouldn't be. Again, it's numbers, it's dollars and cents, and it's about someone's investment. So again, not getting emotional about things. If you do have someone that's emotional on the other end, it's making sure that you set the tone. So, and again, if you need to take a moment in time and find an expert, again, that's why you surround yourself with people that have extra knowledge and understanding. Like I've been in it for, as you said, for 6 years, and I've had great success, but I definitely don't know everything. And the moment you think you know everything, then it's almost like your ego has gotten in the way. So for me, keep yourself grounded, surround yourself with people that can help out. And, if you need to pause for 2 seconds, I jokingly say we're not doing open heart surgery, so nothing is truly an emergency. So, yeah.
That is very true. My husband says that a lot as well.
Yeah.
Just, it's okay. What does discipline look like in your daily life?
So personally, I just did a challenge. So I challenged myself to do 30 days of cardio straight. So I've been going to the gym since I was 15. Let you do the math on that one. But for me, it was discipline comes in different forms. So I was like, okay, I want to see if I can do cardio for 30 days straight. I had taken a bit of a hiatus, was lifting heavy, and I thought, okay, I'll try this. And then I got to 30 days, and I was like, okay. So I extended it to 60. And to me, discipline comes internally, but there's also external factors. So I roped in my 19-year-old son with me, and I said, okay, I made it to 60 days. I think I'm going to go to 75. And he looked at me and goes, if you go to 75, you might as well go to 100. So all of a sudden, my internal drive turned into an internal drive with an external force. So to me, again, you can do things on your own, but you also need people around you that will hold you accountable and make you drive even further than what you thought would be possible. So made it to my 100 days, and now I'm on to the next challenge. So
Awesome.
It works well.
I like that. So discipline is just habits that you create and set goals for yourself, but then you almost amplify it when you've got someone else involved going, hey, I have an extra challenge.
100%. And you can translate that into anything that you do, whether it's like real estate or real life, like your personal life. But yeah, it's always good. So.
What does leading with strategy instead of emotion do for your clients?
It allows them to get the best result. Again, emotions cloud your judgment. For me, it's strategy is ensuring that you've looked at different variables, as I said. But for clients, again, because they will become emotional, it's making sure that you allow them to feel their emotions, allow them to go through, what they're feeling, give them a bit of pause. So oftentimes, like, irrevocables, people will talk about, okay, well, why do you need a longer irrevocable? If you know that you have an emotional client on the other end, it's allowing them to have that pause so that they can make an unclouded decision. So, yeah.
Okay. And you obviously have given a lot of thought before setting up your brand and how you operate. And I don't know, you probably developed this a long time ago, but I got this list of core values, and it's really unique because not a lot of people spend time to set core values, which once you have them, it's a lot easier to make decisions. For you, on your core value list, which ones have been the hardest to live out?
None, actually. We spent a long time on that list. It wasn't like a flippant exercise. It was something that we went through an exercise with a third-party company. So even before I started the team, I hunkered down. I hired a company and said, I need help with strategic planning. Here is generally what my vision looks like. This is kind of what I'm about. And they spent a really long time understanding who I was and where I saw the company being or the team being in 5 to 10 years. And they asked me questions about, when you're doing real estate transactions, what are you looking for and how are you doing it and how do you operate? And so those 6 core values are essentially what I've been using from the beginning. And so for me, it's just now it's in writing, and it has allowed me to make decisions. So even when I'm hiring team members, I'm looking at that and looking and saying, okay, do you fit within this? And it's not to say one person is better than the other, but it allows me to say, okay, if I have a group of people together, if you can assemble and you resonate with these 6 core values, and all of a sudden I've got a team that functions extremely well. Might have completely different personalities inside, but this allows you to make really strong business decisions. It allows you to make customer decisions, and it also allows even customers and clients to understand truly what you're about. So for me, it's been easy. So
that's great, and an encouragement for other people to get clear on that, because I did the same. We restructured, created core values for the company. I have them for myself and family, but it's different when you're representing an organization and you need to make decisions internally on who's coming in. Are they going to be in alignment or not? Yeah. And it doesn't have to do with personality.
No. So
different.
My husband, Jamie, it was awesome. I was presented with a bit of a challenge, and he's like, get your core values out. And I'm like, okay. So we sat around the table, had a conversation truly based upon that filter. So it was awesome.
It's a good filter to have. How do you balance being a strong leader, running your business, and then being a present wife and mother?
I would say time management, but it's also flexibility. So I've watched, I don't know how many podcasts on, successful people and how they do it. But one thing I do want to sort of research a little bit more, or even have more conversations with other women. It's very different from a man's lens versus a female lens. I think as a mom, a wife, and a business owner, you really have to be flexible. So it's understanding what your A priorities are, your B priorities, and your C priorities, because you have to pivot. And it might be pivoting because all of a sudden you have an offer. You might be pivoting because you've got an emergency with one of your kids, or all of a sudden there's just something that pops up in your life. So it's being able to be rigid and disciplined, but also still have built-in flexibility. So
I couldn't agree with you more. There's this book, and I'll give it to you after this. I can't remember the name of it right now, which isn't helpful for people listening. However, it is about how to show up as a wife and mother at home, almost in that feminine space. And it's literally like you have to transform your mind as you walk through the door. Because when you're operating in business, you can go into the go. Yeah. I know your disc. Hi, D. Let's get it done. Yep. And then you walk in and it's like you have to be different.
Yes.
And so learning that, it's honestly a skill. You have to be able to tweak that. Yeah. And this book I'm listening to is just incredible.
wait.
So I'm going to send it to you. One of my friends in Austin sent it to me while I was on a plane.
Yeah.
And I started listening.
That's
I'm halfway
amazing.
through.
And further to that, it's having people in your family in your life that can hold you accountable, because I think oftentimes you can get so hyper focused on particular activities, and just having a husband that can ground you, or my kids will walk in and give me my running shoes and say, okay, it's time for you to take a break. Like again, it's just be self-checking, but also having people outside that can also do the same thing for you. So
It's nice you have that too, because I for sure have that, but I'm learning to just like accept it more. My husband's like, babe, you don't need to go on this business trip. Like you were just away.
Yeah.
I want you to be with me and the kids. And I'm like stuck between two worlds, but also very grateful I have a dominant husband who can be like, oh, no, babe, not today.
But 100%.
You're hearing me.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about this word ethical advocacy in real life and not just words. What does that mean to you? What does that statement mean to you? And what does it look like in real life?
It's one thing to say that you put other people first. And I think that's where ethical advocacy comes into the space. So in this profession, you are advocating for the people that are your clients. And you can't ever take that lightly. So oftentimes, especially when you are dealing with like millions of dollars, or even, say $800,000, it's very easy to sit back and go, okay, well, it's only $5,000 that we're negotiating. And really and truly, if you step back and you go, but that's $5,000 of earned income. For most families, that's taken a really long time to either build up an equity or to earn. So making sure that you have the right perspective when you are completing a business transaction or when you're completing a real estate transaction. So for me, and making sure that their needs are above and beyond anything else. So I know it would get a little bit controversial for this statement, but I have never double-ended a deal. So when I went through Humber, so I'm a new grad to real estate, there was this professor that said proudly she had never double-ended a deal. And then she explained why she hadn't done it. And it resonated with me. And I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me you can't see how someone would, and some people can, double-end a deal. So you're representing the buyer and the seller. When it comes to a seller, if I'm signed on with a seller and say I have a potential buyer, the buyer will go somewhere else. So for me, again, it's making sure that I can squeeze as much money out of the other agent for my seller. And it's just something, even as a team, that we have decided that this is exactly how we're going to operate. I always say to people, if you can come to me and explain how you would be able to do this and look after the best interests of both sides, I'll let you do it. But I haven't been able to find an answer or a rebuttal that has been satisfactory yet. So that's a good example.
Yeah,
So,
no, it is.
slightly not, and again, not everyone will agree with it in real estate, but that's just the way I operate and the way the team operates.
Yeah,
So,
and respectfully, each person can
Yeah.
do what feels
Yeah.
right for them. What are you building beyond transactions? So let's go outside of real estate.
Outside of real estate, but related to real estate. So there's great power in real estate, right? Because you can build a community. So part of the vision that we'll be rolling out with the team, again, is celebrating women in the community, businesses in the community, and giving back. So for me, again, it's just taking time to realize everyone that is in our space and celebrating their wins and their gains and where they are today, and building it that way. So
Perfect. What do you want in the future for your clients and your children to say about the life that you led?
that's a hard question. Okay.
Sorry.
No, I want them to be proud and to know that I was always true to myself. Again, so going back to those being always truthful and having clarity and realizing that when I did make mistakes, that I was able to recognize them and correct them. No one's perfect. I've parented that way. It's how I run a business as well too. Like I want them to be proud in the fact that I stumbled along the way and then found, the correct path again. And I was able to give back to people. Real estate is a position where you can celebrate people, but you can also, it's an opportunity to give back. So since the get-go, like even on our website, you'll see that we've already established a way to give back to education. So any past clients that have worked with us, we're doing a draw for a scholarship. And
Nice.
again, moving forward, we'll be doing more of those things because, again, it's a great way to make the community, but it's also a great way to give back to people that deserve it. So.
100%. You may have not heard about it, but I think you would be very interested. So I'm going to send you a message after. KW Next Gen, led by Gary Keller. You heard about it? Okay. He does this thing for kids, Quantum Leap, not kids, young adults in Austin. And that would be something you would just gobble up, like for your 2 kids. And we were thinking of potentially airing it in one of our locations because they do that. But apparently the experience going there is just out of this world.
I've heard rumors about this. And again, it goes back to Keller Williams and why it's an amazing company because it has endless resources.
The waterfall.
I know it's like, it's not just for you, it's for the next generation. But like even with Mikey, he's headed to Laurier in the fall and he's doing his BA, MBA. And the end goal potentially is to get into real estate. But I told him he had to go get his education first and make sure he had a good foundation and then maybe potentially circle back, if not just as an investor. So but that sounds amazing. So
what does success actually mean to you now?
Helping people, and again, sounds really corny or cliche, or whatever word you want to use. Success to me is making it that people are set up for success, right? So it's the first-time home buyers, and they're looking at me and they're like, okay, this is awesome investment, but it's also an awesome home, right? So success for me is seeing them happy and healthy inside of their space. Success is helping people that don't need to buy and sell. Like to me, it's being able to give solid advice to people to say, okay, this is how you can build up wealth, or you might be stuck in this moment, but future forward, you might be a little bit better if you tried X, Y, and Z. So for me, success is like a multitude of things. And then success is also my family. So, just going back, and your biggest, I would say the biggest thing that I have learned recently is the commodity of your time, right? So in making sure, so success to me is making sure the time that I spend with people is the best time that I can for them, but also for me as well too, and making sure that it's given equally to family and to business. So,
Time well scheduled and presence in the moment. It's huge, especially in how quick. I feel like partly because of AI and all the learning involved and branding, and there's a lot of new things that we're all trying to adapt to, while at the same time, we still have all of the family components and they're the most important. So piecing the new puzzle back together. Yeah,
and it's, I think AI will help us to find a bit more balance. But tomorrow's not promised, right? So, and always keeping that in the back of your mind that today is a blessing, but make sure that, it's time well spent. So that is true success.
I want to dive into some questions that I hadn't planned to ask you, but I just want to go through and ask you some of them because I think they're topics that are really important to hear the perspective of an agent going through this market in this new transition of learning AI, branding, all of the things. To give perspective on agents who may be struggling right now or ones that haven't ever used some of these tools. and just get your thoughts on it. What is the hard truth about entrepreneurship today that nobody wants to hear?
It takes a long time. So I seem like I am fresh to Keller Williams and that this is a new idea. I've been thinking about this for years. So it's not something that has all of a sudden spawned into reality. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes planning. It's not something that you can put into ChatGPT and all of a sudden it's going to spit it out. You can, but it's not going to resonate with people. And I think if you're going to be successful, especially this day and age, and especially with all these technology advances, authenticity is going to be the currency of success. So you need to still be rooted in community. You still need to be present. You still need to have your face out there, coupled with the AI and everything else. But entrepreneurship, it is tough and it's hard, and you have to understand you might have a vision and all of a sudden, you think you have things aligning and you've got to pivot. I have used that little meme from Friends. I don't know how many times in text messages going, pivot, because, and you have to be strong enough to go, again, okay, this isn't working. This is not going to work. And I need to pivot. Just because, you thought it might work, you have to be strong enough to go, okay, this isn't exactly turning out how I thought it would. So I need to go over to this new direction. So, yeah.
I would agree with all of what you said. It's not as easy as some people think it is.
No. And again, going back to what you said in the beginning and how you pulled that out, having the core values and having a strong strategic plan, it allows you to have sort of a baseline and a roadmap, essentially, right? It's not going to predict every single hiccup, but it allows you to have a solid understanding of the direction that you want to go in. So,
what do you think the biggest lie people believe is about building wealth?
you can do it quickly.
Another one. It takes time.
It takes time. Compounding effect. Again, it's a book. There's tons of podcasts on it. But if you even apply it to working out, for example, right? Like you can't all of a sudden strap on a pair of running shoes and run a marathon. It's impossible. You have to build up to it. And the same adage for when you're building wealth. You have to put on your running shoes, build it up a little bit, and keep going and keep going. And it's persistence again. So,
Yeah, totally true. It's even from the children's perspective, trying to build wealth for the future. One of the neat things that I've done with my son from a very early age, weirdly early, is I got him a piggy bank that has 4 pieces in the piggy bank.
Yep.
Investing, saving, giving, and spending. And every single time he gets bills for his birthday or whatever, he's like, can you give me loonies or toonies instead? Because he'll put them into the 4 holes based on, he takes 50% invests. So we have gone now 4 or 5 times to the bank, and he'll empty out his little piggy bank. They laugh because sometimes there are crumpled bills, and they're like, we'll have to send these to the Canadian fund or whatever. The bills are not usable. But he's saved, by the time he's 18, he'll be able to have a house because of his habit of consistently doing that over time. And that's the compounding effect. If you started thinking about, I'm going to own a house when I'm 19 at the age of 5, that small habit will stick with him.
Yeah.
Now I just have to teach my other 3 because they just want to buy Roblox.
That's hilarious. But it comes down to, sorry, I had a flashback from when Mikey was gaming. I'm like,
no, don't go there.
No, I'm like, But again, going back to the compounding piece, it's never too late to start. And I think that's, again, so even your children are very blessed to have you in their life. If people are sitting out there going, oh my goodness, I'm completely frustrated, I don't know what to do, I'm never going to own a house, stop, pause, find a good realtor. Like there are a ton out there that can help you understand it. And again, it's not about the instant buy and sell.
No.
It's to give you those resources and to find a financial planner that can help you out. If you're working right now and say you're 19 years old, start siphoning off some of that money and make sure that you get it into a good investment that will start compounding for you.
Yeah.
In a TFSA, there's so many things that you could be doing even right now, and it's never too late. So
I have a funny story about that too from COVID. So my brother, who is 9 years younger than me, never owned real estate, didn't know anything about the stock market, went a little like, I got to get out of Canada during COVID,
Yep.
went to Florida and learned everything he could about what to invest in Tesla. And he put money into Tesla and at the end of COVID bought a house because of how quickly it grew. And that was in a TFSA,
Yep.
tax-free. The guy coasted through COVID. But really neat stories, like when you get clear and like God will put you on the right path and teach you what you need to know to help you build wealth. And that is also something that is a faith thing.
yes,
And we're not meant to love money, but we're meant to have it
yes.
and give it and do great things with it and teach others how to own their land and own their property and all these things.
Yeah.
So there's some really neat stories because if you're older and thinking, I'm never going to own a house, like there is hope. You can still find someone good in real estate to help you get on a clear path.
100%. And in the faith piece, again, you will understand what the scripture is, but my husband always says, like, you truly just have to believe inside of your soul and think great things will happen, right? And again, you'll be introduced to the right people. You'll be introduced to the right opportunities. And again, sometimes you have to go through those trials and tribulations, and maybe you didn't know when you were younger or you're off doing something else, but when the moment is right, all of a sudden the opportunity will present, and there you go. I wish all of us had the foresight to invest in Tesla, but again,
Before they divided it by 4 and then it went really nuts.
But we don't have a crystal ball. But again, and some of the principles that we used to have when, say, even my grandparents were investing or my dad was investing or even when I first bought a house, some of those principles don't apply. So don't get frustrated just because the older principles don't work for current day situations.
There's still opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
When we first moved back to Toronto from Switzerland and we lived in this condo at the DVP right at the entry of Leslieville, I remember looking over Leslieville and it was like this vision of this gold mine. I'm like, I wish I bought every house I listed.
Yes.
Like I would be sitting on a beach somewhere right now. You know,
Wouldn't we all? Yeah, I know.
like it's that piece and just figuring out a plan. And it leads to my next question about habits, but figuring out a plan so that whatever you're doing that wasn't working, you stop doing and create a new habit to lead you to the path you want to go. So what's one boring habit that quietly makes people wealthy when everyone else is chasing flashy success?
Not always getting the best of the best. So oftentimes when you come into money, and this applies to whether you're 19 years old or you're 26 or our age, it's making sure that you get nice things and you spoil yourself. So you have to live in the moment, right? It's like the power of now.
Yeah.
But at the same point, always looking forward to saying, okay, but if I do this, there is a cost or an opportunity cost for the future. So the boring piece about this is it's opportunity cost always being in the back of your mind, right? So again, spoil yourself a little bit, but again, like your son in the piggy bank, making sure you're saving for the future. So it seems like it's the boring piece, but it's the most rewarding in the end.
100%.
Yeah.
If you had to start again with no audience, no brand, no money, what would you do in the first 30 days?
Same thing that I'm doing right now. I have no regrets, and I'm very proud to be able to say that. When I make a decision, as I said in the beginning, it's very strategic. So it's looking at options, and it's like, okay, what would this look like, this look like, or this look like? So I had different options presented to me when I was making a change. And I took the time to make sure I did my research and understood what the pros and the cons were, and then moved forward. I have no regrets with what has happened or what has transpired. And again, it hasn't been perfect. But at the same point, I sometimes find if you make a mistake or things don't go as planned, there's always a learning opportunity hiding
100%.
inside of there. So again, it's just reflection and going, okay, what did I learn, and moving on. So life is never as you planned it. So no regrets though.
If someone's listening right now and feels unsure or overwhelmed by a big decision, what would you say to them?
Find an expert that can help you.
I love that advice. And just plug in and follow the formula.
100%.
Do the things.
Yes.
Take massive action.
Yeah, and find someone that can be kind enough to you, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. Is there anything right now that you're working on, or a person that if I meet or hear about that I could introduce you to that would help get you the formula to what you're doing or focusing on?
Okay, so again, I will say you've already done that. So again, you have been an inspiration. So just even meeting you and getting to know you over the last few months has been absolutely inspiring, and I feel very blessed.
Oh, thank you.
And I know that I can call you up at any point in time and say, hey, do you have X, Y, Z? And I did that last week, right? Or it was 2 weeks ago, where I'm like, hey, Jamie Lee, I need a bit of help with something. And instantly you had a resource for me. So again, you've already done it. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, if there's something else, just let me know.
Again, I'm really looking for the AI training. I'm really looking forward to it. And again, thank you for this opportunity. It's been awesome.
Well, thank you. Can you share with people into that camera there where they can find you if someone would love to have you reach out about a house they want to sell, or investor information, or whatever it is? Where can they find you, Kim?
They can find me up in the Barrie area, but specifically you can find me on saundersteam.ca. I have an awesome group of people that can help you buy or sell, or just generally understand the market for you.
Perfect. Well, I think what we've learned from you today is clarity creates confidence, and being confident in your choices and having the right people to follow that gets you to the success path you want to be on is the key. It's really, truly the key. And enjoying it along the way.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time on the Real Stories podcast.
Thank you so much, Jamie Lee.